What's going on, and welcome back, everybody. I am your host, LtBuzzLitebeer, and this is episode 6 of the Hardcore Chronicles. Made it down to the Viewpoint Museum. We are Hardcore rank 4. This is a level 5 mission, so we're pretty close to being on par with what's going on here. And we're going to try our best to make it to this mission unscathed. So hopefully you're enjoying all of these playthroughs. I'll leave links to the previous 5 episodes in the video description below. And let's go ahead and get this party started. There we go. P416. Man, this thing's a laser beam. Let's break out the rifle if we're going to do some long distance work. Oh, yes. Crispy headshots. We should name this episode Crispy Headshots. Look at this guy just standing over here. Nobody told him the mission started. That's some of that advanced AI. Give him the old hand. Hit his pack, hit his pack. There we go. Get down. Shotgun rushers. Really the only thing that are hurting me right now, along with snipes. A lot of snipers are hurting me a little bit. Yep, there's one right there. On cue. Go ahead and throw up the repair drone. And should have one more, I think. Yeah, there he is. Just push him. We got the repair drone. Full ammo. Bonsai, right? Alright, we're through. You can see the accolades popping up at the bottom left. 3 times headshot kills and things like that. Remember, I've been unlocking those in the base of operations. I'm a huge proponent of unlocking the accolades at the perks section of the quartermaster. Those give you extra XP right now. You know, 110 here, 150 there, 200 there. It all adds up, and you can rank up a lot faster. Usually there's a weapons chest over here. Maybe it's on heroic only. Anyway, we'll push on in here. Viewpoint Museum, actually quite a linear mission. Just follow the hallways through, and you know, it's chamber after chamber after chamber. It isn't more of a wide open map. Anything like this chamber where they can come at you from multiple angles, these get decidedly more dangerous. They've got different stairwells they can take up to me. You see the 2 at the far end, but they've got one way over to my left. Here come the shotgun rushers promptly off the left one. And there's one directly below me that they can kind of come up at this awful angle where they have to run away from me and then hang a U-turn back at me. Take out the veteran. Turret's not locking on for some reason. There we go. Notice since I guess the couple previous updates, self-lock on with the turret doesn't work nearly as well as it used to. And with the P416. So you're constantly having to adjust, and for me, since I have the turret bound to E key, I have to, you know, manually aim it, or at least tell it what to lock onto. So here we go, first area down very quickly. Pick up some more gear here. Another P416. Let's take a look. Is it better than the one I have? Yeah, we'll put it on. A little more base damage. SMG damage gloves. Not in love with those. I'm not using an SMG. I'm not that sadistic in this playthrough. So we're definitely going to stay away from those. Alright, and there should be a locked cage area. There you can see it. Every now and then the aim's okay. Every now and then. Feeling a little bit better. The previous episodes had a bit of a sniffle. I was kind of hopped up on vitamin C and Sambucus. But today, none of that in my system, so aim should be just a little bit better. I was a little jittery with all that stuff in me. And the extent of what I usually take is sometimes I take Tylenol. Trying to stay away from the doctors. I don't like putting antibiotics and stuff like that into my system. Ooh. Okay. You would hope there would be like bullet pen. That would have been nice for the division. See some bullet pen. I mean, I am firing pretty hefty rounds at basically point blank. You would think that they would penetrate the first target. and go to the next one, but they don't. Unless you're talking like something like the TAC 50 or something like that on the sharpshooter specialization. I'll come back to that comm. No reason to get killed for a comm right now. Alright, these guys are starting to appear more and more. These True Sons, where they're heavily armored from the on the torso and helmet area. And if you can't get to their ammo belt, they can take quite a bit of abuse. Especially when they go prone. They're the only NPCs that can go prone. Do I have an angle on this guy from here? No. Nope. Alright, let's go back and get the comm, because the turret has him completely pinned down. Some food back here. Grab that. Yep, he's down. Should be coming out of a door in the back left there. There they are. Yep, there he goes. Look, these guys come out and they go on cue, prone. Luckily I got his pack because he was exposed. He wasn't behind stuff. And then we have a guy who steps in front of him and doesn't die. Look at that. How many rounds did I put in him? Alright, so we're through this area. So anyway, been keeping up on the current events. A couple heartfelt shout-outs. Number one would be to any and all of those that were affected on that commercial airliner that was shot down over in Tehran, where they suspected it was shot down. Man, that's I saw that on the news, and whew, that I got kind of emotional. That was awful. Canadians, Swedes, Iranians, I mean, they were all on that flight. Needless, senseless. So yeah, my heartfelt condolences to anyone if you have anyone that was on that flight and affected by that. I'm sorry. Also, second thing is I've been paying attention. I pay attention to quite a few current events to what's going on in Australia. And man, you want to talk about world on fire? That looks just scary, scary AF, if you know what I mean. Scary. I've heard the estimates are almost let's take a look at the gloves. 1 billion animals have perished in the flames. Body counts are up into the 20s. That's probably the scariest thing I could imagine. Scariest way I could imagine dying is catching on fire and just, I don't even think about it. That's terrible. Alright, so they come out up here. I'm used to the more hectic heroic, where they all come streaming out at the end there, and they come on the door on the back right. Of course, here we're playing on just normal as a level 4, so there we go. Give them something to think about. Not much else going on with this level. Can I get the turret down? It's not going to let me put it where I want it, right? Yeah, of course not. Come on.
Gonna lay down some cover. Come out.
Tactical advance. It's where you pick where you want to go. For me, it's press the space bar. I don't know what it is on console to press the correct advance button, but typically with tactical advances, you're impervious to damage, or you take a lot less damage. So I really recommend those. The turret's in a good spot. One more. There we go. Turret should finish him off. Yep, there we go. Another comm over here. If you don't know what I mean by tactical advances, that means when you're attached to cover in one area and then you look at another area and it gives you the option to go to that area in front of you. And if you press and hold the corresponding key, he runs in this kind of crouch state, and he's much harder to hit, or she is much harder to hit, depending on the gender of your agent. Gear. Alright, pistol damage, even worse than SMG damage. Actually, no, pistols are actually very strong. I know a lot of you have done playthroughs strictly on pistols, so they hit really hard. Alright, let's get up here. Colonel Ridgway and all of his comms and everything. Good place to put a turret is right there. They can't get to it. It's got a pretty good view of everything. Especially there's a stairwell on the other side of this post that I'm looking at. There we go. That guy's toast. Another one. Almost. He's going to hide now. Oh, we got him. So it gives me gives my turret quite a bit of room to roam. Oh, this guy. Listen to this guy. These shotgun rushers, man, they are absolutely obsessed when they come down. Get headshotted. Oh, come on, man. Really? Need that extended mag. Anyway, on the firing line. Look at this sign. More of them should come out at the end, I believe. Yep. There we go. Through the glass. Yes. Alright, so we have an elite heavy gunner. Wherever you do, just... Oh, perfect shot. There we go. Making it look easy. Whatever you do, just don't stand out there and just, you know, take it from this guy. I see some players sometimes, many times they do this. They sit out there and they try and go tit for tat with one of those guys. Just let them get off all their ammo. They'll sit there and reload, and then you can pop them. Or you can just pop out, fire once, go back into cover. Back and forth, back and forth. But definitely don't stand out there and take it. Those guys will do a lot of damage to you very quickly. Alright. He's down. He's down. Headshots. When we finish out of combat, what I'd like you to do is look at the bottom left. Many times what it'll do is it'll pop up and it'll show there's 4 times headshot kill. See that? 160. Those are from the accolades that I've been unlocking at the base of operations at the perks at the quartermaster. So I'm picking up extra XP for landing headshots, for surviving longer in combat, for tactical kills. Tactical kills like you blow up like a natural gas cylinder or something like that, and it kills some NPCs next to it. So definitely look at that. That's the accolades perk at the quartermaster at the base of operations. It's just free XP. Look at where he smacks it with the pistol and he twirls the pistol. Very cool. Beautiful looking mission again. I haven't mentioned this in this playthrough, but if you haven't seen the previous 5 episodes, like I said, I'll leave the links in the video description below, but I am playing on PC in full ultra, essentially 2K. So if your TV or PC monitor, or even if you want to crank up the resolution on your phone to see it in all of its beautiful glory, I would highly advise you do so. Even if you do play on like 4K, for those of you who play like on a Xbox One or maybe a PS4 Pro or something like that, that would be equivalent to me on PC of like PC low settings. So when you're playing on full ultra, you know, all the filterings are up, everything is up, the shadows, every single option that you can crank full ultra is cranked up to full ultra. So no offense to your 4K setup on your TV or something like that, but it is not in the resolution that you would experience on what I'm seeing. So if you have the ability to crank it up and look at it, I definitely would recommend it. So you can see every last bit of shadow and lens flare and everything this game has to offer. It's superbly done. The graphics are superbly done, excuse me. Really the only issues I've ever seen on this game as far as graphics go have to do, shotgun rusher, excuse me, with like objects that are not, how would you say it, interacting correctly with the environment, like things that are floating or sometimes like weird transparency issues and things like that. But I don't think those have to really to do with the environment itself. They're just probably something to do with the coding, with how something is interacting with something else. Anyway, saw some more accolades pop up at the bottom left. Get back up here. I always recommend staying up here because these guys will take over the bottom area very quickly. Turret's in a perfect spot. You can see it's up to the left there, and it can just rain down on the terminal. The True Son's actually trying to make it over to the terminal and turn it off, so it can it can absolutely hammer them. Get away from these guys. Let this guy shoot away a little bit. Give him a grenade to think about, scare him off. There we go. And that grenade hit him a little bit. At least it scattered them. That's all I wanted to really do. There we go. Get this P416 some action. Mark 17's been real helpful up to this point. That's the Scar H. That's the rifle. That guy is annoying from there. All right, so see this guy on the terminal? He's trying to deactivate the terminal. That's why I put the turret right there. I am running turret and healer drone. Probably the only thing I'm going to stay away from on this playthrough as I unlock the skills are going to be Seeker Mines, even though I love them on my normal character, my, you know, World Tier 5, Gear Score 500, Hardwired, Skill Power, Insano, Explosion Damage character. I'm going to stay away from those because Seeker Mines have a habit of sometimes just self-inflicting wounds on you. They'll blow up right next to you for some reason, like they don't lock onto a target and they just take you out, and I do not want that to end my hardcore run-through, if you know what I mean. Some mats over here. There we go. Still getting rid of the last little bits of that congestion cold I had going on. Alright, so this is going to be the rooftop. This can get the most hectic, but if you do it the way that I'm about to show you how to do it, it's actually probably pretty easy. You have 3 of these EMP disruptor things up here on the roof. And if you do it the way that I'm going to do it, it's probably the safest way. I know some people try and hang back, and there's a timer and everything. Anyway, you can't use any of your skills because of the EMP disruptors. So we got one. We're going to get the second one over here.
Structural integrity at 75%.
I'm going to get too close to it so it disrupts me, and then run immediately to the third. Run by the NPCs, don't even mess with them. And we're going to make it down to the third one here, which is down at the bottom. And then we're going to use this area, even though it's not ideal, to mount our defense. Because we can use the corners, and the True Sons, I guess it's the way they're programmed, they get a little concerned when they see you popping up and down on the stairs, and it actually forces them to kind of rethink what they're going to do with you, and they kind of run back and forth. So I know a lot of people hang out at the other end, which you can do, but there will be a group of NPCs that will come out at that other end. From where I'm looking right now, probably just a little bit to the left, there's a doorway over there, and there's more NPCs. And you can quickly get overwhelmed down there, especially if you've got Wade down there, because he is one of those heavily armored True Sons. He's got a light machine gun, the whole thing. Alright, here come the extra NPCs. I'm gonna throw a grenade at myself. You know, because it wouldn't be a video unless I was self-inflicting wounds on myself with grenades. Let's throw another grenade in there. These things are free anyway. Pick them up everywhere. All right, this guy's going to move over. Oh, got one of them. There we go. That's a tactical kill. All right, and now we're just left down to Wade. Take your time with Wade. You don't need to be a hero. As soon as he starts taking damage, he starts running around. Of course, the bushes are going to block my 7.62 rounds. You know, that's how bushes work. Derp. That was sarcasm, in case you didn't know it. That was Buzz being sarcastic. On this episode of Buzz being a sarcastic prick. There we go, Wade. How you like that one, buddy? And Wade is down. Alright, there you go. Just finished it up. Oh, excuse me. Do I have one more guy coming on here? There he is. Mr. Veteran runs right into my bullet stream. Oh, multiple guys. Okay. Yep, there's one. So this Mark 17 is actually a level 2, and I'm taking on level 5 NPCs. I really don't have any damage mods or anything on my gear, and it still hits them pretty hard, which is great. So there you go. Mission complete. Theater settlement upgrade. 7100 XP. Got some loot. And we leveled up. And we got a skill unlock, so we're level 5. So now we're on par with the mission that we just finished. Hopefully you saw some helpful hints and tips and stuff like that during there. Really not a hard mission. But if you run around like a spastic ostrich with, you know, your tail feathers on fire, you're going to die pretty quickly on this because True Sons start coming out of everywhere. So you can see all the accolades popping up on the bottom left, like multi-kills, headshot kills, all sorts of stuff. That's what those accolades add to you. So let's finish up over here. I know there's some shade tech over here, so I want to finish this, and then we'll go back to the base of operations, and we'll probably call this a day, if you know what I mean. So no real problems so far. That was Viewpoint Museum. That was a level 5 mission. We were a 4. We're now a 5. Mark 17 really helps. Staying in cover helps. And just making sound tactical decisions, I think, helps more than anything. So we'll go grab the Shade Tech just down here. Sometimes there's a couple little roaming bands of NPCs over here. Don't expect much. Right now, there's one. P416 for the win. There we go. So if I remember correctly, it's over here kind of at the end of like a alleyway or something like that. Or I think there's like a ramp downwards. One of those type of things. Like a loading dock. That's what I meant to say. Words, Buzz. Words. Words are hard. Here we go. Shrubs are even more difficult to get over. Here we go. Shade Tech. Need these to unlock the skills back at the base of operations. There's this one, and there's some loot over here. So I think we'll probably end this episode here. In case you haven't taken the time, it would be greatly appreciated if you could take the time to smash that sub button and click on the bell icon to receive all notifications from my YouTube channel. While you're here, if you could take the time to rate the video either with a thumbs up or a thumbs down, that would also be appreciated. If you want to and feel like supporting me and or my YouTube efforts and my channel, I'll leave links to my Patreon page and to my merch store, which is over on Teespring. I'll leave those in the video description below. If you want to follow me on Twitter, here is my Twitter ID. I think we're going to go ahead and end this episode here until episode 7. This is LtBuzzLitebeer signing off.